Hey, everybody. Welcome to John Barsby Podcast. This is Season 2. This is our lead off here. And we have a great guest here starting off with us is Jason Simard, alumni and contributor to our programs here. So we have brought him in. He's a realtor in town. He's gone from humble beginnings to greatness in our city and contributing to us here at Barsby. We're super happy to have him here and to helping out our programs. And obviously, Coach Stevenson's here with us, and maybe he'll do another little introduction here. You got anything else there, Coach, in terms of Jason?
Well, yeah, it was good to reconnect with Jason and Joe Langdon back in May of 2021. I had been asking for some help with a family that had moved to town that was looking for a house, and they stepped to the plate, did a great job with Sims Real Estate, taking care of that family, and it led to some further discussion about John Barsby and giving back. So you might want to talk a little bit about that.
First off, how cool is it to be back in this school after 20 years? This is it's kind of surreal, and I'm sure many of you didn't think I'd be in this position. So thank you for the teachers that did believe in me. A couple of these guys are here in this room.
Yeah, what grade did I teach you again? Let's jump back here.
Probably like 8 or 9.
Grade 8 or 9. So that's like 1999 maybe?
Yeah,
98 even?
90, 98, 97.
98? Oh, man, that's literally probably my first year teaching. It
Yeah.
probably was.
I think
that's
one of
going
your
back.
first years. You were a new teacher back then. But you made an impact on me because I still remember you
Oh, there
to
you
this
go.
day. So thank you for that.
Oh, awesome.
Coach Stevenson, he's been contributing to the athletics program here for a long time with the football team and many championships and a lot of young men that have been developed through that program. So thanks for the hard work that you guys put in. I know you're doing a lot with volleyball.
Keeping busy.
Yeah, so, and a lot of people don't realize you guys don't get paid for this. Like, you guys just do this purely out of passion to give back to young people. And I think, like, the hidden heroes in the community are really often teachers, and they're overlooked. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. I have kids, 4 of them, and first one starting high school, and they're going to be coming up, and I just know how important the work is that you guys do. So if you ever feel beat up or you ever feel like, oh man, this is just difficult, just keep going because you're making impact.
Thank you.
And you guys are leaving a legacy behind one day that you'll be really proud of. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm super excited to be able to be in a position to give back to the athletics program. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do is be in a position where I can give back to the community that I love. And so I made a 3-year commitment this year that we would donate $5,000 to the athletics program here at John Barsby. And we're looking to make this a long-term thing. We're contributing resources as well to help you guys really get this off the ground, because I know how hard fundraising is. I remember being a student of this school, and there were kids that just couldn't afford to play sports, that just needed a little leg up, and so if I can do anything to give back and make your guys' lives a little easier and make sure that kids don't miss out on opportunity, I'm all in. And I just wanted to, be here today and just thank you guys for the things that you guys do. It's really remarkable, and it does make impact, so just remember that.
Yeah, and speaking on behalf of the athletics program, we're very thankful for that as well. It's a tough environment to thrive in, and it's people like yourself that give back to the community that allow us to put kids on the court, in the pool, on the field. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I feel grateful. I didn't come from money, to be able to build up an organization here in the community that creates a lot of gainful employment, and to be able to be in a position where we can give back from our foundation to a high school that had a really meaningful impact on me as a young person. And I certainly wasn't an A student. I wasn't, again, anybody that probably you guys thought would be in this position today, but I'm grateful. And again, thank you to some of the people that believed in me. And Craig, I know you were one of those people, so thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, I don't know much more to say than that. That's a glowing report from our side. It's nice to get contributors like you that are stepping in and giving the good word out there, and vice versa, right? I could totally see you going somewhere. So you see it not, but I know you can see kids at an early age, those, you were a talker. I know that much. I remember that from that much. I was thinking, what kind of guy was he? Oh, he was a talker, right? But talkers move, and obviously very relevant in your business and your line of work where, you got to do all those positive self-talk and get yourself out there into the community. And
well, it's interesting. This is a fun topic we can quickly jump on, but I always had what I felt good communication skills.
Totally.
But I didn't conform necessarily to, sitting and listening to an hour-and-a-half lecture. I always did really well in the classes where I could participate, where I can be engaged. And I'm sure there's a lot of kids like myself that, really do well in those types of environments, but maybe struggle being sort of sitting there and having to listen, because for me, that was not my ideal learning channel. But what do you guys think is the number one thing that parents can focus on, aside from like grades right now, with their kids to help them be more successful in life? I'd be curious to hear it from a teacher's perspective, and I've got an opinion on it too.
Can I start here? I guess not. I'll just dive in. You kind of hit the nail on the head, right? In terms of talking about yourself. Anytime you have a kid who has resilience and jumps forward and does that, and that's, I guess it's hard to teach that to somebody, but there's some parents that clearly have paths for their kids, and they're able to give them that self-reliance. That's super important. But the communication part is so key, especially in the world. And we were just talking this before the podcast started. Is that living in the online world these days with the kids, that they get lost in their devices sometimes, and getting away from those screens and getting out and talking to people and communicating and having those interpersonal skills, it's super valuable. Like that's the wave of the future for me, for kids that are going to really move forward, is those that can, dive into an organization like yours, and maybe they don't have the skill set, but they're willing to learn it and they're willing to do it. Right. Maybe that's where you came from, where you weren't where you were and you just had to learn all that stuff on the go, and that communication is huge, right? That positive communication, that's huge. Yeah. My 2 bits.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's one thing parents can work with their young people with is time management, and sorting entertainment from some of the to-dos that may not be the most fun. All right, but things that have to be done. Managing your time. That combined with always encouraging them to follow their passion, do what they love, and doors will open for them. If you feel like you like something as a young person, that's your hidden genius, and listen to it and fill it. And what parents can do is, irregardless of the topic or part of life a young person likes, support it. It may not look like it's going to provide a living at the end, but along the way you wind up with people that have similar interests, and there's a lot of mutual support, and then there's the brainstorming, and then there's the widening out, and again, find passions and pursue them. And number 2 is cast a wide net. Cast a wide net. It seems in some arenas in life it's an age of specialty, whether it's sports or just careers or whatever, but trying a lot of hats. And it keeps things fresh. From a coach's perspective, we're all in during football season, but at the end of football season, we're all tired of football, and it's time to strap on your basketball shoes, your wrestling boots, do something different, and play your winter sport, and then do something different again in spring, and then you're always looking forward to the next season, instead of just being like a worn out old greyhound.
I love it. It's funny that you guys both said exactly what I'm thinking. So people skills, what I'm seeing now is the people that are going to excel in the new economies and the new worlds that we live in are the ones that can communicate, because that's starting to become a lost art, right? Kids are hiding in their devices. They're afraid to talk to one another, right? They talk through devices. Time management. I coach realtors all over North America, and I'll tell you guys, like, these are 2 things that I work on with people on a consistent basis, is emotional intelligence and time management. Like, it's really funny how many adults really just have no plan for their day or their week. They kind of just go and fly by the seat of their pants. But when you start becoming efficient and disciplined with your time, you can actually become much more productive. So again, these are things that I really harp on with my boys and my daughter, who's not in school yet, but same thing I'll teach her is, I want them to become friends with everybody.
So do you think you had those skill sets when you were in high school?
I think I had good communication skills. I always felt like an old soul in high school. So I really wasn't into like the party scene and all that. Like that just wasn't me. I was pretty motivated. I kind of knew what I wanted. And I knew that for me, school wasn't necessarily my ticket. I had to graduate. I had to get what I needed. But I knew that my skills was more being a doer and being out there doing things.
Yes.
And sometimes I felt like the school system sort of casted like this box around you that made you feel like you had to be a certain way, which wasn't me. And I'm glad that, you know, I listened to my own intuitions, and I kind of relied on what I call my superpowers, which are my communication skills, to get myself ahead. And I hope that the school system is developing that, and I try and identify those gifts that kids have at an early age. And I think that's where coaches often get to know players on a different level, and you get to kind of see what their geniuses are. And I think that's sort of important for people that maybe have a kid that's not getting straight A's and struggling in school. Just understand that's not how life really works. Once you get out of life in the real world, it really is communication. It's self-awareness. It's time management. It's hard work, discipline. So I'm not saying that don't get good grades, because if you want to be a doctor, you need good grades. If you want to be a lawyer, you're going to need good grades.
I think anything in general. Like, I think you kind of hit you as a person, and the way you've come today has totally been exactly what we talked about, right? The communication side, finding your passion. Your passion was, you know, building in your real estate and moving forward, right? And just something you were growing, I imagine, was something that the endeavor of it was there. When did you make that shift to that, by the way? I didn't ask you that.
So yeah, no, it's a good question. So I was a bank manager. I started in banking when I was 19. I was a bank manager at 22. I was able to do that fairly young. Again, I didn't have university degrees, but I had results. I knew how to get results. I had great communication skills, which kind of helped me get ahead. And then I went and I did that path I was in the ad industry for almost 11 years. And then I had a life event. I unfortunately went through a divorce, and we are on great terms, and we have 2 sons together, so I'm grateful for that. But it wasn't until I hit a rock bottom in my I think it was very early 30s, maybe 30, that I decided I was going to reinvent myself. And I wasn't going to play it safe anymore. I was going to kind of go all in on this whole entrepreneurial thing. So I kind of had this vision of Sims Real Estate Group and what that would be. And following my passion. Like, my passion was being an entrepreneur who helps lift other people up. I'm a big fan of that. Go-Givers, by the way, if you haven't read a book, read the book The Go-Giver. If you guys want something for your young people to read, read The Go-Giver. It talks about giving more in value than you'll ever receive in payment. It talks about the law of receptivity, giving and not expecting anything in return. But if you read that book, it changed my life. I literally followed those principles, and I've been able to create financial freedom at 37 years old, and now I'm helping other people do the same thing. And I'm just honored and blessed to be in a position where I can help others in the community and be here today. And I came from nothing, guys. Like, I did not have a silver spoon upbringing. I was very middle class. You know, I was at rock bottom when I started my entrepreneurial life. But you know, it's been a really cool journey, and I just love the helping other people win. You know, within Sims Real Estate Group, I'm proud of the fact that we pay living wages, that we have people that are able to earn a great living right here in the community, so they can be in a position to be contributors. Right? Fantastic. As opposed to being a taker in community, I've always wanted to be a giver. How can I give back? How can I make it better? And I hope that I can have even more money that we've built through our foundation in the future to give back to young people in the community. You know, this is just one of the passions, is being able to give back to my high school. You know, this is one of the things that we're doing, but we're doing a lot with women right now as well. You know, women that have come from physical abuse and things like that. We're going to be doing a lot with some organizations to give back in that way. And yeah. I mean, long ramble short, I think it's important that you sort of foster innovation with kids and really get them out there and being, again, if they're a little different, feel like an entrepreneur, and they don't necessarily fit the box, that's okay, because there's opportunity out there. And I'll tell you, as an employer, what I look for, I actually look for communication skills. I look for somebody that has self-awareness, and sometimes I look actually like for adversity. What have you been through in your life that you've had to overcome? Yeah,
that's the resiliency I was talking about, right? The kids that got balanced and they show that they can come back, right? And you say you come from humble beginnings yourself, right? That's a common story. You kind of see, like, those that have had to struggle, and the ones that do have that resilience, they'll bite back further, and they'll succeed even further than expectations, right? Or what you would expect, I guess, right? And
Barsby, let's be honest, right? Barsby had that underdog story back in the day, right? Because maybe we're not in the most expensive area of town, right? And you have, you know, a pretty diverse group of people. You have some people that come from higher income families, middle class and lower income families. But the one thing that you'll notice, there's a common thread with a lot of people that came from Barsby. A lot of them have become very successful, right? And I think it's because they didn't come from those silver spoon upbringings. It's because they had that resiliency, and because they had to go through adversity in life. And I think that's something that as parents we need to kind of encourage in our kids. Let them struggle. It's the best thing that they can learn from. I mean, think about you guys. I'm sure there's been points in your lives where you've struggled.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
How much did that help you become better at what you do and more relatable to kids?
Yeah.
Right. So I think, again, as parents, it's not an easy thing. I'm scared, my kid's now in grade 8 and I'm hearing all the things that are happening out there for young people. It's a little scary, but I just hope that I've instilled good values in them and that they can take those and run with them. But man, it's not an easy job what you guys are doing, I have to say.
It's a rewarding job.
Yeah.
And life doesn't have to come easy. When you go to bed at night, did you do the best you did? And if you do that, you usually get a good night's sleep. But during your working hours, you try your hardest. That's our motto here: is try your hardest, get better each day, do the right thing, and it'll carry you a long ways.
Love it.
Yeah. So we are super thankful. It was nice to hear your words of passion. You could just hear it coming through you, right, in terms of what you believe, and it definitely follows our motto. No question about that, right? So whether we had that motto back there or not, we've had that for a while. That motto.
We've had it for a while.
Yeah. So was it back in 2000s though? I don't know.
Early 2000s. We
pretty close.
It as a school. We adopted it as a program in '96.
Yeah.
And I was a little curious, if you could share with people, with your giving back to your alma mater here, what is your vision for it beyond the financial? We had some discussions this spring, and you thought that Sims could project a lot of the positives that are going on at John Barsby as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that we want to be able to do is really showcase like the young boys and girls that are coming up through the system that are doing amazing things. And it's not always just through athletics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's like those hidden heroes that are going out and volunteering and making a difference in the community. It's the hidden heroes like the teachers that volunteer their time. There's some amazing people that have come through Barsby that have made such an impact that I guarantee you one day when they are having their funeral, there'll be a packed house of people that are going to be there that they maybe haven't seen in 20, 30 years, but they'll know that they've made an impact, And I think that's really important to showcase that. John Barsby, I really believe, had a bad rep for no reason. It was an amazing school to go at.
Well, that's been one of our main reasons for this podcast, is really wanting to showcase, all the fantastic things that happen here. And I've been here, again, for 22 years, 23 now, and, again, coached almost the same time. And, we've seen it all and heard it all in terms of where do you teach? I get Barsby, and they go, I get the
Yeah.
Or you probably got that when you go to school at Barsby.
Yeah.
And look where you are, right? You're doing
I'm
fantastic
so proud
things,
to be,
right?
I live literally up the hill on College Drive.
Yeah.
My investment properties are right here in the University Village. I believe in this area. I love the fact that we have that nice diversity in income demographics, and we have real kids that come here that come from all different backgrounds. But I'll say, as a student, I was really proud to be a student here. I'm proud to tell people that I went to this high school. And I think it's important that people know that there's some amazing athletic programs here. There's some really committed teachers that are making impact. And I would not hesitate to send my kids to the school. And the only reason my kids go to ND, and I hate to say that, sorry guys, but it's because of the French immersion program, right? I want my kids to be bilingual. I speak 2 languages myself, but I would not hesitate to have them come to this school. And that's the only reason they go to ND, because if the French program had been here, they'd be here.
My kids go to ND too, but it's just where I live in the same area, Jinglepot area. It's all about the catchment area, but I would love for them to go here as well too. So
there's a lot of programs here beyond the athletics that do terrific. Our band program, our arts program, they're first class programs, and just the general milieu around the school. You go through the hallways. There's people that are engaged in their building, and when we do send teams or representatives of our school out to play other neighborhoods and communities, really, that's what Barsby produced internally. And your best group of kids that enjoy volleyball or basketball or football, you go out and you wear the colors and you represent, and you come back and go build a better version of yourselves. So a lot of that mentality is also the staff within the school and our approach to young people in the classroom. It's a dynamic building, and very proud to be a part of it. Very proud.
Well, and it's like there's some unique ways that problems get resolved. If there's conflict between kids, it's not always like, oh, let's get the parents and this and that. It's like, hey, let's find constructive ways to get the kids to communicate and work through problems and challenges. And that's often where athletics can bring people that maybe aren't seeing eye to eye, brings them together.
Yeah.
And again, there's people that care like yourselves that are there keeping an eye on what's going on in the culture of the school. Yeah. And I think that's something for parents to understand too, is like the culture of the school is really important. It's the people that make it, which are the leaders like the teachers.
And the culture in the school, it's been a long time coming. Culture has deep roots. And, we all stand on the shoulders of the amazing work done by our liaison officer, Constable Leith Lynch, who's now retired, Mr. Ray McDonald, our inner city youth worker, just fabulous people. And they may be physically gone from this building right now, but their legacy is alive and well today. And
oh man, those guys made massive impact. If there's ever a
there's some good name drops right there. I like that name drop. Those are awesome.
A monument put up. Those are two guys that deserve that at this school. They really, really helped a lot of people. Like Ray McDonald. I mean, I remember having good conversations with him and how he helped me as a young person, not always feeling like I fit in. Being an old soul in high school, trying to find my way, and he was always one of those leaders. And his methods worked. He knew how to connect with kids and make them feel valued. Yeah. And he never talked down to you. He always made you feel like you were important. And it didn't matter what background you came from, what you were about, Constable Lynch, luckily I didn't have too many run-ins with him, so I wasn't giving him any problems. But I know he was really involved in the athletics program, and just watching you guys as leaders too, and how you handle the kids is remarkable. And I think again, if you're a parent and you have kids that are looking at a community, or a school, I would have no problem having them here. And if you have your kids in the school, you should be proud. This is the high school in the community that I think is the most real of what the real life is going to be out there. The demographic of people that we have here is very diverse, and I think that's what makes a great high school. And the culture, again, which is made up by the leaders that have been here. So.
Well, we've done a lot of chatting here. I'm not going to wrap this up completely, but just a little recap here. Coach, how's the season going for football? I just want to make sure we're touching base. Obviously, he's contributed to your teams here.
We're doing what we love doing, which is getting better each day. And our JV's quite a talented squad. They're clicking on all cylinders. They've only allowed 6 points in 7 games.
Oh, and last one was like 50 something. What was it again?
Is this soccer?
That's
impressive. That's impressive.
54-0 last game. Crazy.
Wow.
And our varsity, they're just improving very, very steadily, and we're starting to hit that J curve of improvement, which is what we wanted all along. A lot of new kids out for the game, so the learning curve takes a while. But it's those atomic habits. It's just doing those little things over and over and over again until you reach a critical mass and pop. And we're starting to pop. So
that's
excited
awesome.
About that. And I can see it coming down the pipes when basketball starts up. It's taking place right now with junior and senior girls volleyball. Have been
we're making our swings right now. Junior girls are first in league, and our seniors are. We've only had one loss to one AA team, which is our division, and we've taken down a couple AAA and Quad A teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're doing our business so far this year. We got a good group of kids. I have to give credit to Mr. Epp, who was here before. He moved over to NDSS, but he definitely built a good foundation for these kids who are moving up, and we got a program that's going to move the rest of the kids forward. And
awesome.
Things are going well. We got
swimming
going.
Have some kids in the provincial.
Mr. Durr,
Mr. Dirt swim team, and our cross country teams.
Yeah.
We won 2 provincial championships in the last 4 years at cross country, and
Wow.
Coach Hart's got them on another journey right now. So,
there's a couple kids qualified there
Mr.
too.
Hart wasn't a teacher at the school when I was here, but he was at Cedar back then. I believe my sister worked there, and apparently he's quite the athlete.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's more than just basketball, that's for sure. Yeah, he's
pretty timeless guy athletically too.
Yeah, he's still in great shape.
Oh yeah. I pull a hamstring just watching him work out.
He's always in there playing with them, like even a PE class, whatever it is. He's like engaged. He's not just standing by and. He's in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
see, and again, I think because of the culture of the school, you probably attract that quality of teacher and that bring more to the table than just teaching.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, definitely. So we totally appreciate you coming on in. This was
pleasure,
fantastic.
Gentlemen. It's just so cool, and I'm very humbling to be in a position where I can give back to your athletic programs, and I hope to be able to do more for you guys in the future and help just showcase the amazing high school.
Well, definitely some interesting opportunities for us. I'm already starting to think about more than just athletics, right? I like the hidden heroes idea that kind of you just sprouted out there too. So
I've got some ideas.
It's all about our organic beginnings, and this is just the start.
We'll definitely connect on that. And, I want to give everybody a shout out there that's listening to this podcast or viewing it. I can make a testament to the quality of service by Sims Real Estate.
Oh, thank you.
And
There you go.
It's not what this is about, but thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It's not a shameless plug. It's like an honest one.
It's an honest
yeah.
plug.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you took care of a family that was in need, and that goes a long ways. And it should be spoken of. So
Thank you. Oh, it's our pleasure. We love what we do, and we bring the same passion to giving back to the community to what we do for our clients. And again, they allow us to be in this position. So how could we ever not give them anything but amazing service?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in for first episode of season 2, and we got more to come. It might be a little slower than last year. Obviously, I'm a little more busy myself as a producer doing this stuff, and the media class, and things have changed. But we will get other episodes out to you pretty soon. So just stay tuned. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.